Hmm. Okay, you're at the Watchman Way. May 9th, 2020. China asked the World Health Organization to delay the pandemic announcement, deny human to human transmission, according to German intelligence. So, basically, the guys who were colluding um, originally, you know, the World Health Organization wanted to, well, they've been involved in this from the beginning, right? Soros, World Health Organization, Gates, and China. I think China stuck it to the deep state, didn't release what they were supposed to release. And now they're asking the World Health Organization to kind of cover their tracks. It doesn't make any difference. Everybody knows what's going on now. It's the flu. And the globalists were expecting something much worse, something that was going to kill millions of people. They didn't get it. Kind of screwed their plans up. Uh, Silver coin premium soar. What have I been saying? Signal alt money, money outside the system, silver, Litecoin, demand as reopening recovery hype fades. There is no recovery. I told you guys, this is over. We can't recover from this. Just if we didn't have the 50 other problems to deal with, we could, if we wiped the slate clean of all the other problems, we couldn't recover from this. There's too much damage. You can't shut the worldwide economy down for, what's it going to be? 3 months, 4 months by the time this is over? It's impossible. It can't happen. The worldwide economic collapse is coming this year. Just a matter of when. Get your money out of the system. Get your money into alternate forms of money. Silver, Litecoin, not gold, not Bitcoin. I had a member arguing, had to have an argument with family members because, she's been telling them Litecoin, Litecoin, Litecoin. And of course, Bitcoin has a big run up, last week or whatever, this past week. And now they're whining. Well, we said don't buy Bitcoin. Look, we would have made whatever, $1,000 or whatever. This is a long-term investment. Do the math. $12 million Bitcoin, $50 Litecoin. Let's just call it $50 today. How many Litecoin can you buy for one Bitcoin? It should be 25% of the cost. If let's just say, let's pick a number. Let's say let's just say Bitcoin selling for $8,000. Litecoin, based on by their model, should be at $2,000. Well, it's at 50, so that makes it a hell of a buy. Figure it out. You're probably talking, if you figure 3 million a piece for Litecoin and 12 million a piece for Bitcoin, you're talking $100 million difference in investment if you buy one Bitcoin, and then with that amount of money you then go and buy the same dollar amount of Litecoin. You're probably talking $100 million difference in return on investment That's what you're talking, difference. Probably at least that. What would you rather have? Litecoin or Bitcoin? It's a no-brainer. Yeah, sure, you'd have made $1,000 this week, but you'd have missed out on 100 million. Litecoin and silver for a reason. Litecoin is going to outperform, and I'm not talking about day to day. This is a long-term investment. We're looking at this 2 years down the road minimum. 4 years is the optimum. I don't care what it does in a day or a week or a month or even a year. It's what it does over the next 4 years that we need to keep an eye on. And of course, the moonshot's coming. I mean, what's happening now is insignificant compared to when this thing collapses. Then wait till you see how much it goes up. Then there you're going to see your huge jumps. And then without the manipulators and the crooks, it's going to be constant for the next 10 years at least. Steady up for 10 years. The longer you hold it, the more it's going to be worth. But they're talking about this in the mainstream now as a big point. Alternate money. We now know far more about the virus. The lockdown should end. This is zero hedge. People are starting to figure out it's not a pandemic. It's not anything near a pandemic. It's not even anything near the flu. Less dangerous than the flu, the common flu. You know, not the bird flu or the Spanish flu that killed 20 million people. No, the common flu that kills between 10 and 60,000 Americans a year. This is less deadly when you run the numbers, the mortality rate. It's a joke. Everybody knows it now. Let me go through this. There's no way they're going to be able to keep this. See, what you have to understand is what's happening now. They're jockeying for positions. You've got the white hats and the black hats, the globalists and the patriots, the deep state and President Trump battling it out right now. They're all jockeying to get the angles they want and they need. This thing is falling apart. The deep state, there's no way with this kind of information coming out, and we're at mid-May, they've got to drag this thing out through November. Explain how that's going to happen. They want it to happen. It's not going to. It's having another conversation with the same member about 5G. Nervous about 5G. There's nothing to be nervous about. Well, they're in a rush to get all these towers up. Yeah, they are. That's the black hats, the globalist. President Trump isn't going to have it. Just because they want it doesn't mean it's going to happen. They cannot stop. They have to pull everything into this full speed ahead, because if they don't get this done, they're all going to hang, and they know it. So that's why there's a panic to get all this stuff done. These guys are fighting for their lives. If they don't get something done where they can get President Trump out of office, they're finished. They're going to hang, most of them. So they're desperate. Yeah, and you're seeing a lot of crazy actions all around the world. It's not going to make any difference because President Trump's 10 steps ahead of them. Yeah, they would love to kill us with 5G. Sorry. Not going to happen. President Trump wrote an executive order last week or the week before. He has 100% control of 5G technology. They're not going to get anything operational that's dangerous to the American people. Now, around the rest of the world, you're on your own. I think the EU, you better be careful because they're definitely going to roll it out there. China, yes, not good. I think I think what they possibly were doing was trying to roll out some kind of vaccine that had um, codes built in so that possibly things could be triggered that would happen inside your body with this combined with this 5G technology. That over time, the vaccines interacting with the 5G, think about this. There was definitely something that they had planned. If you've been following this for a few years now, you'll remember 3 to 4 years ago when Obama was president, they were running a lot of drills with police forces and military forces dealing with basically zombie behavior. People who are walking around crazy, right? Crazed. And then them shooting these people. It always happens. What they train for what they're planning. So there's at some point in the next couple of months, we're going to find out what this is, whether it was something in the vaccine, something in what they've been spraying, but that would interact with the 5G. I'm pretty sure that was. Remember, there's, God, what was that? The movie, shoot. It was, well, I'll remember. But anyway, there's a scene in this movie where a certain song plays or they play a certain frequency over the radio and it triggers something that had been implanted in people that does the same exact thing. They had something planned. Something was going down. Whether it was the with the vaccine, definitely I think probably had something to do with 5G and possibly the chemicals they've been spraying on us. We'll see. But it's going to come out, guaranteed. We'll hear about it. Let's see. Obama may want. Oh, where am I? Obama may want to call Eric Holder after virtue signaling no precedent for the Flynn motion. Basically, he's knocking the Flynn motion, right? Well, what would you expect him to do? Because he's involved in this. This was all part of, FISA-gate. So yeah, he's playing defense right now. They said maybe he should call Eric Holder. So Obama says there was no precedent, and Eric Holder did the same exact thing in front of the same exact judge. So yeah, call Holder, Obama. Um, New York. Here's more fear porn. New York launches investigation into mysterious new virus linked um, linked to the coronavirus as 3 children die. They don't know what this thing is. They don't know. Probably don't know what these kids exactly died of. But they're gonna now. We got some super strain that's now evolved and it's even worse. So it's going to have the same mortality rate as the regular flu instead of less than. Just fear porn, guys. Trying to get us worked up, trying to get us fearful. Don't play into their hands. I've noticed the past couple of weeks a lot of people, even members, that are stressed out about this stuff. A lot of anxiety. Why? Listen, that's what they want. They want to instill fear in us. They feed off of this stuff. Divide and conquer. That's what they do. That's what they've done for thousands of years. Don't play into their games. Don't fall for it. When you are fearful, when you have anxiety, that's exactly what they want. You're giving them exactly what they want. Fight it. Don't fall for it. It's not doing you any good, and you're giving them exactly what they want. And I think that's all part of what we're seeing these, because it's happening a lot. And I think for most people, it's cognitive dissonance. They know something's wrong, they can't rationalize it, and it makes them lash out. Well, I think it's going to get worse. Another zero-headed headline. Someday they're going to write books about it, about this period in time right now that we're in, and what's going on with the virus and the economy and all this, and it's lunacy when you look around and you look how everybody's running around like their hair's on fire. Take a deep breath. Relax. If you're prepared, extra food, extra water, medical supplies, ammo, physical silver, Litecoin, you're going to get through this. You're going to thrive through this. Why would you have any anxiety? Why would you be fearful? Fight that fear. Don't let it get to you. You know, there's no reason for it. You're hurting yourself when you fall for it. Because when you're in that fear mode, you're not thinking clearly. And you definitely don't want to be there if something big goes down, where you need your wits about you. Unprecedented expansion of every form of money, unlike anything ever seen. They're basically monetizing things they haven't monetized. Things that the Fed couldn't buy, they're allowing them to buy because they have to. They got to pour money into the system, and the system's coming down. It's not going to make the election. The economy will not make the election. Get your physical silver and Litecoin today. Don't wait. It could go down Monday. Any day now, this thing could collapse. And when it does, forget buying Litecoin or silver. It's over. When that happens, forget about buying it for a week or 2 or 3 or 4. Because it's going to be going up so fast, nobody's going to want to sell it. They're going to shut down. They won't sell until it stabilizes. Nobody wants to sell till it hits the top. And when it's climbing, nobody's going to be selling. Okay. Illinois federal bailout request is an admission of its massive pension problems. No kidding. As well as many other problems caused by the global agenda. Yeah, now they want us, after their years of ridiculous policy, they want us to bail them out. Sorry, ain't going to happen. You're not getting a penny. Deal with it. Contact tracers and disease investigators jobs spring up across the country. They're gonna work this thing. So they're hiring people to track, somebody gets the virus. So then they want to know who this person's seen in however many days, right? And they're supposed to tell you everybody. So then these people go out and track these other people down. Anybody see a problem with that? I don't. It's never going to get there. I don't think that. I think this is going to be over before it can get very far. The CDC is about ready to go. I think. I think he's going to just send them on their way. Fauci and the CDC director and the World Health Organization, boot them. Just get them out of the way. Defund them. Close them down. It's all about creating the hype, creating the fear, and keeping it going because they need to keep it going now. So you're going to see them start to look stupid as these Democratic globalist governors keep trying to regurgitate this garbage that the virus is dangerous and we got to protect lives and blah, 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 blah. And all the while, more and more doctors are coming out and saying, wait a minute, this isn't what they said it was going to be. This isn't what's happening. This isn't a pandemic. And as I was saying, you're not going to fix this. American shopping malls resemble ghost towns after reopening. So everybody thought, oh, we're going to reopen, everything's going to be fine. No, it's not. Because you still have a huge population of the sheep that are buying this crap, that think that the virus is real and they're going to die if they get it. The virus, it's let's put it this way. The illness is real. You're not going to die if you get it. If you're a healthy adult, you have nothing to fear from this. Yeah, so this isn't going to be a quick comeback, guys. This isn't going to be a quick recovery. This is going to go on for a year minimum. It could be 2. But with President Trump, I'll tell you, he's pulled off some amazing feats. Just what he did with our economy, as screwed up as it was an amazing job. Let's put it this way: he's the best man that we could have in the world doing this. So it's going to be quicker than anybody else comes through this. Just got to let him do his job. He'll get us through this. Venezuela charges ex-U.S. Special Forces soldiers with terrorism and conspiracy. These are the guys they caught in Venezuela. I'm still wouldn't rule out. I wouldn't rule out a SEAL attack to get these guys out of prison and to arrest Maduro at the same time. We'll see how it plays out. Either way, Maduro's going down. You know, whether it's now or next month, he's not going to be there much longer. Ohio reopens and urges employers to snitch on workers who stay home over flu virus fears for the unemployment, for the people that, you know, because they're getting more at home, right, than on unemployment. Well, it's not going to work because if you don't come back to work, they're going to get you ratted out, and then your unemployment's going to get cut off and you won't have a job. So, well, we'll see how that plays out. Let's see. All right, what we got here? Okay. Questions. Lena, how you doing? Lena ordered her C60 today. Good job, Lena. I don't know if I can. No, we're not going to go that route. Damn it. do this. Danielle's teaching her 13-year-old son how to shoot. Good job, Danielle. Shirley, how you doing? Listen, guys, you're going to face resistance when you're out there trying to red pill people. That's part of the job. Don't get discouraged because people aren't having it. You know, they're calling you names or whatever. Ignore it. Move on to the next one. Don't let it stop you. Cecil, what's up? Cecil said he's feeling better every day with carbon 60. Jerry, what's up? That's Gary's brother, twin brother. Penny, Tina, hello. Joanne. No, listen, guys. Listen. Joanne's worried that because of the economy, President Trump's not going to win the election. Write this down. I don't give a shit what happens. President Trump wins the 2020 election with 90% of the vote. Write it down. Forget everything else. The economy's going to collapse. Won't make any difference. President Trump wins the presidential election with 90% of the vote. Felicia, how are you? Paul, what's up? Yeah, the phones already do contact tracing. Jason, what's up? Mike Janman, guys, get your colloidal silver and colloidal copper from Mike. Natural antibiotic, colloidal silver. Jason, what's up? Danielle, hello. No, people aren't gonna. I don't see any. Listen, if the shoe was on the other foot, and the liberals were in our position, yeah, they probably would have already taken up guns. It's not going to happen with the conservatives because most of the ones that have guns understand that you're not going to do that. Especially in this scenario like where we are right now, it's going to take a lot for the conservatives to pull out their guns, and I'm talking about to use them in a violent manner against someone else. I just don't see it. Listen, you have to put this in perspective. You know, people keep saying, "Oh, it's been such a long time. I can't believe it's taken so long." Blah 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 blah. This has been going on for thousands of years. In our country, the globalists have had a deep hold on us for over 100 years. You think it's going to go away overnight? Yeah, sure. He could have gone in the day after he took office and started rounding these guys up. And we would have been in a civil war because the left was so fearful that President Trump was going to be unhinged, crazy, and do something that's going to destroy the country. And then he starts arresting his former political opponents. How do you think that would have played out with most of the liberals? Half the country. They could have been devastating. They ran all these numbers. They knew exactly what was going to happen. The way they did it was absolutely the best way they did it. And I can tell you from my own experience, from looking at this 5+ years ago when God showed me, I was looking to this time. How do we get to this point without losing tens of millions of people? I didn't see any way it could happen. That it was eventually probably going to come to a civil war. Then God and President Trump showed up. A whole different story now. I don't think we're going to have hardly any civil unrest through this process. I think the most civil unrest is probably going to come from the banks. That's what's going to create and the pension funds. That's what's going to create the most outrage, because they're the ones that are going to take the biggest hit, right? The ones who are going to lose their pensions. Maybe Social Security. We'll have to see how that plays out. Here's the only thing that's going to save us. That money was there, okay? I don't remember what year it was. I want to say the 90s, but I'm not 100% sure. It doesn't make any difference. At one point, the to get out of a bind, might have been the 70s. The government borrowed all the money in Social Security. We wouldn't be in a Social Security crunch right now if the government hadn't borrowed that money and never paid it back. So the people want to say, oh, well, it's entitlement. No, we paid into this. Anybody who's getting Social Security out paid into it. You don't get it if you don't pay into it. But you think it's right for the government to steal it and not put it back? That's what happened. So that's something that President Trump might put money back into because it didn't collapse. It was stolen from. Listen, guys, it doesn't make any difference if people test positive. It's the flu. Georgia's they're saying malls are full, but they've been open longer than almost anybody else, I think. Yeah, this is all caused. Listen, President Trump hasn't caused any of this. All these shutdowns have come from the governors. President Trump gave them enough rope to hang themselves. He let them expose themselves. Brilliant. Deborah, what's up? Tessie, Shirley, Lena. Here's Lena showing how she starts conversations with her friends and relatives. And, I want to tell you what I've learned because when stuff hits a fan and I'm not affected, this is a good kind of a good angle, right? So you don't want your friends to think you were holding out on them and not telling them, right? When you come through this skating and they're all struggling and they're going to, well, thanks for telling us, right? So you go to them with that angle. Hey, I just want to let you know, I think this is what's happening. This is what I've done. Just so you don't think I was trying to dodge you or didn't want you to know this stuff. These are the things you can do. You do what you want. I just want to let you know. That's our job as watchmen. We don't have to beat them over the head with it. Our job is to let them know. That's why I say, when it's almost better you have an argument with them because they're going to remember that argument, right? When the banks do close and the economy does collapse and it's common knowledge, oh Christ, that's what Lena was talking about. She was trying to help us. That's what we want. Good job, Lena. Well, and of course the media turns it on its ear, and they don't explain why we're where we're at. It's that everything's President Trump's fault. End of story. Michael, what's up? Well, yeah, isn't that odd? Listen, homeless. How many homeless have you seen with coronavirus? One is because I think their immune systems are like an impenetrable wall because they're exposed to everything. So they build up the resistance. It's like, we were feeding feral cats. You could only kill a feral cat. They'd get run over by a car and they're back in 2 weeks. One almost had the leg bit off. I think my dog must have got a hold of it. A month later, he's running around like nothing. Like they're basically immune. And I think that's what's going on with the homeless. Kathleen, how you doing? Danielle's son thinks that she's Sarah Connor. Well, maybe the new Sarah Connor. Yeah, Ted Cruz did get his hair cut by the woman who got arrested in Texas. Kathleen says they're arresting people in New York right now for walking on the street. President Trump is giving them enough rope to hang themselves. All these liberal states are seeing now what happens as a result of their policies. This is what you get. Communist state. The SS. It's going to end. President Trump has the hand of God on him, guiding and protecting him. That is true. Yeah, don't worry about it, guys. You can't believe some of the things people called me. Doesn't faze me. Like water off a duck's back. Rolls right off. Don't miss a beat. Go to the next one. Don't let them get in your head. Mike Janman is the man. Colloidal Silverman. We're going to start a new comic series. Yeah. The police are exposing themselves too. Because they shouldn't be doing any of this. There's not a police officer out there that should be following these orders. They're illegal. They're unconstitutional. A law enforcement officer has a responsibility to uphold the Constitution. So there isn't a single police officer that should be making these arrests. Globalist puppets. Tanya, how you doing? Listen, I believe when this is over, everybody's arrested. The 160,000 indictments have been served. Everybody's been arrested. I believe that 90% of the state politicians in California will be behind bars. Cherie, how you doing? Lisa Lowe. Yeah. Yeah, POTUS is laughing his ass off watching them all screw the pooch. I mean, they're sticking their, I mean, they're playing right into his hands, these governors. Yeah, the military will bring the rule of law back, and then we're going to get the police retrained, and we're going to go into a more service-based police than an enforcement-based police. Um, Community-based is like Andy Griffith, you know. It's like it used to be in the '60s, '50s, and '60s. You knew all the cops. You talked to them. It's a whole different vibe now. You know, too militaristic, and it's all globalist engineered. Yeah, 2 years in California is going to be tough, guys. I don't know if it's going to be available in 2 years. Again, it's going to depend on. And if it's CalPERS, probably not. I don't see how they're not going to be able to save CalPERS. That ain't going to happen. If you've got a CalPERS pension, forget it. I don't see how they're going to make that work. Yeah, prying kids away from their mothers. Yeah, not shouldn't be happening in America, guys. And listen, it's not an excuse to say, well, it was a law or my boss told me to do it. The Nazis tried that after the Second World War and they hung them all because you can't obey a law that's a crime against humanity. It's like our Constitution. It's like what they got all the Nazis for for all those murders, crimes against humanity. Um, we can't be in this country obeying orders that are contrary to our Constitution. They use money because from Social Security because we were in the hole from something. It could have been as early as the 70s that they did it, but that's what it was. They actually, oh, we're going to borrow this money, we'll pay it back. Never did, of course. Look it up. If you Google it, you'll find it, I think. Yeah, they take it and then tell us it's entitlement. Yeah, every American should be pissed off about that. Joanne hasn't received her stimulus. Eleanor, how you doing? Ray Lynn, how you doing? Cowgirl Kathy, how you doing? Pelosi's trying to ramp up another fake impeachment. She could be in prison before it happens. We'll see. Yeah, don't listen, guys. If they're not going to listen, don't waste your time. You can pretty much tell in the first 2 minutes whether they're going to be open-minded or not. And if they're there just to say, we're crazy, go to the next one. Don't waste your time. Tell them what you got to tell them and move on. You've done your job. In God's eyes, you've done your job. Now it's on them. God help them if something happens to somebody in their family. Because they're going to be directly responsible when they could have been ready, right? Well, and here's the thing, guys. Lisa's saying a lot of police aren't enforcing it unless they're, the mayors or governors are prompting them. I don't care if a mayor or governor does prompt you. You just have to say no. It's illegal. What's going on is illegal. The president did not declare an emergency or declare that that you should be locked down. These governors are the ones that overstep their bounds. President Trump set the trap and they stepped right into it. And stepped back. Well, that's a tough one. Joanna's son in the hospital. Yeah. Jojo, how you doing? Welcome all new members. Snowing at Jerry and Gary's house. Yeah. Chelsea's saying her husband hasn't seen this many hasn't seen many homeless at all. Well, I'll tell you, as far as homeless go in California, none of them are sick, but boy, it's the problem's worse than it's ever been. Cindy Lou, how you doing? The CDC chief is in quarantine, coronavirus quarantine. Good. That's another thing. The CDC is not a government agency. That's another private business. How do these people get such power? Because of the globalist. It's all going to end. The Fed, the CDC, NATO, UN, the World Health Organization. See ya. You're all done. You're fired. Yeah, Mike's sister had it. Glad she made it, Mike. Came through it. Well, no, President Trump's going to execute Pelosi. Don't let her off the hook so easy. The boom is coming. Listen, a lot of Q drops, guys. Q is dropping like crazy. I think I think this next week, Brennan and Clapper maybe go down, maybe Comey. I think this month we're going to see somebody big. I think we're going to see Obama or Clinton this month. We'll see. We're getting close, guys. Sister-in-law Heidi, how you doing in Vermont? Tommy, what's up? Cecil? I don't know why anyone would want to live on the East Coast compared to the West Coast. Very unpleasant out there on the East Coast. FDA's chief is also positive for quarantine. Listen, they're talking about when you see somebody's in quarantine, it means they're really under investigation or arrest. Phil, what's up? Keith, what's up? Well, that's the thing, though, guys. They were looking for a certain type person, right? They were looking for a person that wasn't the brightest that would follow orders. That's what they wanted. Not too smart, would follow orders. That was their criteria. Well, thank you, Danielle. I appreciate that. Jason, how you doing? Yeah, you got to take care of yourselves, guys. That's why I think the colloidal silver is really good right now. Um, I think it's going to help a lot of people get through this. Well, uh, Phil's asking why POTUS is allowing the media to continue to spread their lies, basically. Uh, it's going to end pretty quick here. I think he's going to seize control of the media at some point. We'll see. Gilbert, what's up? Don, hello. Yeah, Lisa's saying not only will it be the greatest financial change in history, it'll be the greatest change of power. Yeah, here at least, the people are taking the power back, thanks to President Trump and God. But it's going to happen around the world too, guys. I really see. I think communism's going down. I think globalism's dead, and where it's um, on life support, it will be terminated in the EU around the world. People aren't going to take it anymore. They see now what the globalist agenda was really about, and they're not going to have it. Keith, what's up? Suzanne, hello. Yeah, it's coming, guys. You're welcome, Deborah. Oh, yeah, that's why they're going to hang them quick. Get them in, get them out. Don't take up that cell space. Lisa said she read a press release the other day that says They were supposedly announced that it may take until mid-September before the first round of stimulus is completely dispersed. That's not good news. Yeah, I can't see it being that long. Stephanie, how you doing? Julia Lowe. Quick recap? No, sorry. I couldn't remember a quick recap right now. Wayne, good job. Still getting prepared, but he's got a lot of silver and Litecoin. Keep going. Listen, the more you guys have, the more you'll be able to pay forward. It's all good. That's my philosophy. Arlene, how you doing? There's Kevin, guys. Anybody who has questions, Litecoin, Silver, Ledger, Coinbase, Gemini, get a hold of Kevin. Recap the safety of cryptos versus the banks. Well, one, with cryptocurrency, every single transaction is recorded and saved. Every single one. You know, just try and hack. These exchanges aren't getting hacked, or your ledger isn't getting hacked. These banks are like sieves. How many banks have we heard that have lost, sensitive customer data? Hundreds of thousands of people. I mean, it happens almost every month. The exchanges are much more secure. The system is much more secure. It was built to be more secure. It replaces money. Cryptocurrencies make banks obsolete. You don't need a middleman like a bank with cryptocurrencies. That's why they hate them. They understand what's happening here. Banks are done with cryptocurrencies once they take hold. So, listen, there's not even a choice because, one, the banks are going to be gone. Cryptocurrencies are going to be around for a long time. I'm not going to say forever because who knows what's going to happen in 100 years. But I think eventually we won't use money. We won't have money. We won't need money. We're going to have replicators that can reproduce almost anything. Like what you saw on Star Trek, meals, and who knows what else. Litecoin you get at coinbase.com or gemini.com. Both of those links will be in the comments section after the video's over. Lisa, how you doing? Everybody should thank Lisa. Does a lot of work. Takes a big load off of me. I couldn't do it without her. Or I've already had my second stroke. Thanks, Lisa. Tina, how you doing? Yeah, the big fish is coming. And I think it's going to be Obama or Clinton. Uh, 17 Litecoin will make you a multimillionaire. There's nothing wrong with 17 Litecoin. I would want more if I could get them. It also depends on how much silver you have. If you've got 17 Litecoin, you should have at least 100 ounces of silver. So if you don't have that much silver, I'd start buying some silver too. I would say, 25, personally, as a minimum, I would want to have 25 Litecoin and a minimum of 100 ounces of silver. And I've got a lot more than that, just so you know. A lot more. All the watchmen are going to be millionaires. That's a foregone conclusion. Just how many of us are there going to be? I think it's going to be in the tens of thousands. when you look at all the people that were affected all the way out, right? Because you tell 10 people and they tell 10 people and they tell 10 people and they tell people, and pretty soon the whole country knows about it. Thank you too, Kevin. Everybody thank Kevin. Doing a hell of a job. Pam, how you doing? Joanne's back. Blockchain for security. Yeah, this is it's the future, guys. Get on board. Pam wants to know if there's what happens if there's no internet. You don't access your Litecoin. And when the internet comes back on, your Litecoin is going to be there, just like your bank. When the internet goes down, you generally can't use your bank, your credit cards or your bank cards, your debit cards. It's the same thing. When the internet comes back up, your Litecoin are going to be there and you use them. But that's why we have silver. You don't care. I don't care if the power goes out or the internet goes down. I got plenty of silver. It's you got to have both. Democrats might not field a candidate. We'll see how it plays out. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms. Brian, how you doing? Yeah, you won't be able to access this if the internet's down, you know. Not a big deal. It'll come back. And listen, when it's most likely to go down in the next month, we don't want to use your Litecoin anyway. So it's not really an issue, I don't think. Tana, how you doing? Yeah, it's going to come back on. Good job, Kathleen. Keep collecting, Mike. Chrissy, how you doing? You're welcome, Joan. I know people are bearing both weapons and silver. It's a good idea to have it stashed. It's also good to split it up, guys. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. You know, split up guns, you know, maybe a couple of different locations. Same with your silver or your whatever. All your supplies. It's a good idea. The same thing that backs Litecoin is the same thing that backs the dollar. Well, actually, more backs Litecoin because Litecoin is backed by its technology, speed, use. Yeah. So, listen, all you need to know is it's going to be worth $3 million. Anybody who doesn't put $100 into this is a fool. If you got $100 and you don't put it in, you're crazy not to take this bet. When you look, especially when you look at the landscape here and you see what's going on around the world, it's not going well. The worldwide economy is coming down this year. You better understand that. There's only a few things you can get that are going to protect you. Physical silver and Litecoin. God showed me these things. I didn't pull these out of my hat. Why aren't financial advisors advising people to buy physical silver and Litecoin? You know why? Because they don't make a commission on it. That's why. These guys aren't in it for you. They're in it to make as much money as they can. They're never going to tell you to go buy a crypto or physical silver. There's no money in it. Pam has a friend that buries ammo and guns in state parks because the landscape very seldom changes. You know, back on trails, hiking trails. There's so many places, guys. You can hide whatever. You know, make sure your loved ones know where you're hiding it. You don't want that tragedy of one person who knew where everything was gets run over by a car. You know, going to the party to celebrate our victory. Yeah, use your heads. Welcome, Pam. Yeah, listen, listen. Anybody who watched what happened with toilet paper should be able to understand what's going to happen to physical. Now, listen, this is toilet paper, okay? This is something that makes absolutely no sense to me. I don't know whether people thought that they're going to be able to sell it when this thing goes down. People are going to need toilet paper. Look, do the smart thing. Buy physical silver and Litecoin. With what you're going to pay for toilet paper, buy Litecoin with it. You're going to be a lot better off. I mean, it's crazy. But we saw what happened with toilet paper, how it was flying out the doors. Multiply that by 100 for cryptocurrency, for Litecoin and silver when the economy collapses. Because 7 billion people are going to realize at the same time they need money outside the system. They need assets outside the system. Physical, silver, and Litecoin. There's going to be a rush to it. And it's going to be too late for most of them. Because the price is going to be going through the roof and the exchanges are going to close and the dealers are going to shut down. Get it now while you can. Okay, guys, that's all the questions. Um, Not much time. Keep pushing. Be positive. Let's finish this thing. Push through the end. Every person matters. Every minute matters. Be positive. I like to start with, how would you like to be a part of the greatest transfer of wealth in human history? There's nothing to fear here, guys. Everything is on track. Don't put yourself in that fear mode. Most people are doing it to themselves. Get out of that mode. Get out of that fear mode. It's not helping you. It's not helping your family. It's not helping your blood pressure. Okay, I'm going to wrap it up there, guys, with our prayer. For God and country. Amen. We'll see you tomorrow night at 5 Pacific. God bless.